The Rise and Fall of the Roman Empire, a tale of glory, power, and collapse. The beginning, from a myth to a republic. According to legend, Rome was founded in 753 BCE by twin brothers Romulus and Remus, who were raised by a she-wolf. Romulus eventually killed his brother and became the first king of the city, naming it after himself, Rome. In reality, Rome began as a small settlement on the banks of the Tiber River in central Italy. Over time, it grew by merging with nearby tribes and expanding its territory. By 509 BCE, the Romans overthrew their last king and established a republic, a new form of government where power was in the hands of elected officials and representatives of the people, at least the wealthy class. For centuries, the Roman Republic expanded through war, alliances, and clever diplomacy. It conquered the entire Italian peninsula, then moved outward to face the greatest power of the Western Mediterranean, Carthage. The Punic Wars, Rome versus Carthage. The conflict between Rome and Carthage became known as the Punic Wars. The most famous of these wars was the Second Punic War, when the Carthaginian general Hannibal led his army, including elephants, across the Alps to attack Rome. Though Hannibal won several battles on Roman soil, Rome eventually defeated Carthage and destroyed the city in 146 BCE, becoming the dominant power in the Mediterranean. By this point, the Roman Republic had grown into a vast empire in everything but name. But with that expansion came internal problems, corruption, inequality, and the rise of powerful generals. The fall of the Republic. Enter Julius Caesar. As Rome expanded, so did the ambitions of its leaders. One of the most famous was Julius Caesar, a brilliant general who conquered Gaul, modern-day France, and became incredibly popular with the army and the people. Fearing his power, the Roman Senate ordered Caesar to disband his army. Instead, he crossed the Rubicon River with his troops, a direct act of rebellion. Civil war followed. Caesar emerged victorious, declared himself dictator for life, and began reforms to centralize power. But in 44 BCE, a group of senators led by Brutus and Cassius assassinated Caesar, hoping to restore the Republic. Instead, his death plunged Rome into more chaos. The Roman Empire is born, Augustus and the Pax Romana. After Caesar's death, another civil war broke out. His adopted son and heir, Octavian, defeated his rivals, including Mark Antony and Cleopatra of Egypt, and took control. In 27 BCE, Octavian became the first emperor of Rome, taking the title Augustus. Under Augustus, Rome entered a golden age known as the Pax Romana, the Roman peace. For over 200 years, the empire enjoyed relative stability, immense wealth, and a flourishing of art, architecture, literature, and engineering. Roads, aqueducts, colosseums, and laws unified the massive empire, which stretched from Britain to Egypt, from Spain to Persia. The height of power, glory, and excess. The empire reached its peak under emperors like Trajan, Hadrian, and Marcus Aurelius. But not all emperors were wise or just. Figures like Nero and Caligula became infamous for their cruelty, madness, and corruption. Rome became a symbol of luxury and decadence. Gladiator games, chariot races, and lavish feasts were common in a society increasingly divided between rich elites and poor masses. Meanwhile, new threats loomed: political instability, invasions at the borders, and a growing new religion, Christianity. The rise of Christianity and the divide of the empire. At first, Christians were persecuted for refusing to worship Roman gods or the emperor, but their numbers grew. In 313 CE, Emperor Constantine issued the Edict of Milan, granting religious freedom and legalizing Christianity. He later became the first Christian emperor and founded a new capital, Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul. By 395 CE, The Roman Empire was officially split into two parts: the Western Roman Empire, with Rome as its capital; the Eastern Roman Empire, or Byzantine Empire, with Constantinople as its capital. The collapse of the Western Roman Empire. The Western Empire faced constant invasions from Germanic tribes like the Visigoths, Vandals, and Huns led by Attila. In 410 CE, Rome was sacked for the first time in 800 years. Internal weakness, corruption, and economic failure made things worse. In 476 CE, the last Roman emperor in the West, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by a Germanic chieftain named Odoacer. This date marks the traditional fall of the Western Roman Empire.